what we love to see at the multi-class age championships.
Great battle here. He could get on the wall first.
As they come down to the touch. Oh, there's nothing in it.
It's a dead heat. Wow.
That is some phenomenal swimming.
Welcome to the Gold Coast Aquatic Centre. This is your 2026 Australian Multi-Class Age Championships. I'm Emily Seebohm. Joining in the booth is Alex Graham and Jake Templeton. This is your first final session of day number 1. And what a beautiful location we have here. The Gold Coast Aquatic Centre, home to the 2018 Commonwealth Games. What a venue we have. What a pool. What amazing swims we saw this morning, guys.
Absolutely. This morning was firing for our first session of these age group multi-class championships here on the Gold Coast. And wow, we had an absolutely stunning day this morning. And the weather has just continued on to tonight. The wind has died down a little bit. As we saw this morning, we had a little bit of a mishap with the flags where there was a mild wind gust which blew the flags down, but there's no chance of that happening tonight. It is a very still night. The sun is setting on the pool as we head into the order of events for this day 1 final session. We've got the girls 400 metre freestyle, 12 to 15 years age group up first, followed by the 16 to 18s, and then the same for the boys, followed by the 100 breaststrokes. So again, 12 to 13, 14 to 15s. And then we're moving on to some 200 metre freestyle events for both the girls and the boys, followed by the splash and dash 50 metre backstroke. Jake, we saw some really fast swimming this morning in those 50s. Can we expect a little bit more of that tonight?
Yeah, absolutely, Alex. I think tonight we'll have some really good performances from our young athletes. Some of these athletes potentially being the first time racing on the national level. So really looking forward to it. And for those playing at home, our para-swimming is open to all 3 impairment groups. So we have our visual, intellectual and physical impairments. So the classification system is 1 to 19, but we know our 1 to 14s are eligible for the Paralympic Games and the World Championships and these major international events. The 1 to 10 classifications are more for our physically impaired athletes. With the lower the number, the more, the greater the impairment. 11 to 13 is for our visually impaired athletes. And S14 is there for our intellectually impaired athletes. So at this meet, there are multiple classes within each race, but times will only be compared with the same class. So we look at that 1,000 points being a world record. So our athletes tonight, within their given classification, will be looking to get as close to 1,000 points. And the greatest point score will win, not necessarily the hand on the wall first.
Is there any athletes that you're really looking at tonight, Jake, to step up to that next level? So you got the age and then you got the open. So what does it take to get from that age group to that open level competition?
Definitely am. Yeah, we're looking at improvement all the time for our youth athletes. Every time they step up on the blocks, you'll quite often see personal bests, which is fantastic. We do have Callum Simpson, who is a Paralympic Games champion. He'll be competing tonight. Not in the race that he won in Paris, which was the 100 freestyle for the S8 category. He will be doing the 400 freestyle tonight, but look out for him. And we do have Gemma Selick, as well as many other younger athletes, some of our 12 and 13-year-old athletes coming through the ranks. So keep an eye out on them tonight. But we do start with our girls 12 to 15 years, 400 metre freestyle final, as the girls are starting to walk out now behind the blocks. Beautiful evening here on the Gold Coast. Little breeze, but I think that might be favourable for some of our athletes.
Yeah, absolutely. Perfect conditions here at the Gold Coast Aquatic Centre as we look at the first final off the blocks. This is your girls 12 to 15 years multi-class 400 metre freestyle. Now we saw a lot of different techniques come into play. Whether you take it out really hard in that first 200 or you save yourself for a bit of a neg split or a back end. But it would be fantastic to see these girls come back from this morning's great swims and see what point scores they can get. So Like you said, Jake, there's a lot of different classes in this group. So you've got a lot of S19s, but also down to an S6 in lane number 9, Curry there. So she will be quite strong and quite great in the high point score as well, won't you, Jake?
Definitely. Leah Curry had a great swim this morning, so she'll be in lane 9. That's not to say that she is the slowest person in the field, though. When we talk about the point score being, or having that greater impairment means that she may be closer to her world record in her classification. So keep an eye on the S6s, the 9s and the 10s. These are the girls that can compete at this race internationally if they get to that point in their career.
All right, first cab off the rank for the first session, final session. And we are away. The girls, 12 to 15 years, 400-metre freestyle, hitting the pool, and they are out to a very strong start. Expected to be pretty even across the board here. As Em mentioned, there's going to be a few different tactics at play. The athletes have been working with their coaches, tinkering with a certain race plan in training, and now they've come here to execute it on the first night of this National Age Championships.
Looking very strong. Maloney out there in lane 5, Rudd in 6. As they go through, it will be Rudd 32.07 taking us through. So really using that first speed off the blocks, looking nice and strong. She's got a very continuous kick, high stroke rate. So we'll see if that keeps going through this 400.
Absolutely. Coming down for the 100-metre mark. And it looks to be a race of 4 at the moment in the middle of the pool. It is Bryony Rudd taking the early lead, but also making a move in lane 4. Kiara Vanston. It was actually Annabelle Maloney who had the highest amount of point scores from this morning. So we've got to keep an eye on that as well as keeping an eye on the time. But early on, it is Bryony Rudd. Looking very strong, nice and relaxed technique. Really long strokes, that's what you want to see with that freestyle stroke. Nice and long, soft legs. You don't want to overkick the legs in these 400 metres. And Jake, run us through some of the tactics that would happen in this 400-metre freestyle race.
Yes, certainly, Alex. I think the girls will be starting to get into their groove now, but we do have a big array of tactics with the 400 freestyle. It is one of those events with a huge predominance of the aerobic energy system, so these girls will be doing quite a few Ks in the pool, but we do also need to make sure we've got that sprint finish if we come down to that at the end. So Annabelle Maloney, one of our up-and-coming stars, you could say, is starting to swim through now in lane 5. And as you said, Alex, she had the most points this morning. We do know that all of these athletes will be contesting their own individual world record for their particular event. So the middle lane's starting to swim away a little bit now. Looking at especially Kiara Vanston there in lane 4. It's been a great start, moving through in 2:24.48.
Yeah, they're doing really well so far, hitting that halfway mark. And it is Vanston taking the early lead. But the girls either side of her are not going anywhere. And it can spur you along when you take that breath and you see your competitor right next to you in a national final. I'm sure none of the girls really want to give up. They're all here to improve on their times, get the best out of each other. So let's hope all the swimmers in the middle of the pool here are really pushing for a fast time.
You can see the S10 athlete Maloney there in lane number 5, really pushing these S19 girls in that lead ever so slightly behind, turning in that 3:03. The front 2 girls in that 3:02. So very close with those top 3 competitors. And you really use your competitors to almost pace against. So you want to hold on to them, and hopefully you have more in the tank at that last 50 metres, 100 metres to go.
Yeah, absolutely. It can drag you out a little bit fast. It can also spur you on. And the girls are doing a fantastic job up the front here. There is not a lot separating them as they come down to the final 100 metres. The race is definitely going to be on. As you can see, the kick picked up a little bit as well, and now the stroke rate started to lift. So the girls know what's on offer. There is a national age title on offer, and they're all going to push each other right down to the end here.
You can tell that they all sense a race here, all 3 of them eyeballing each other. They come down to the final 65 metres, and getting onto that wall at the 350 first might be beneficial. So we see them move through now under the flags. 5 metres to go on this second last 50.
Yeah, we really saw some of the girls drop the hammer on the last 50 this morning. Let's see what they've got in store for us tonight. Some really solid turns there, but they're all still stuck together in that group. I would say it's Kiara Vanston and Amelia Steiner kind of trying to separate themselves a little bit. But Annabelle Maloney not going anywhere either. And it is going to come down to the last 15 metres. There is a national title on the line for these young ladies. And it looks to be Vanston and Steiner going stroke for stroke, heading into the wall. Who's going to have the better finish here? And it is Vanston who takes the win in the fastest time. But we have Annabelle Maloney throwing down a whopping 700 points. And I would say that's going to be hard to beat from here.
A great high point score there for Maloney in lane number 5. That 707, a great night swim. Another great point score, Gerard, there in lane number 2 with that 600 point score. 575 for Gibbs there in 7. As we keep watching those point scores come through, those top times, some certainly fast times from heats to finals.
We'll keep an eye out there on Aaliyah Curry as well. We have our S6 swimmer in lane 9 through in 5 minutes 33 with 50 metres to go. So I know this morning Curry was 5th on points. So being an S6 swimmer, she's got a little bit of time up her sleeve. So we'll see how she moves through this final 50 of the 400. But the girls in the middle there, that was a great race. Annabelle Maloney, of course, 707 points at this stage with the most points in the field. But let's not discount Aaliyah Curry with 10 metres to go here.
It's going to be close. There's Gerard sitting in second on 600 points. A fantastic effort there from Aaliyah Curry. 514 points, so really good way to get the night off and running. Girls did a fantastic job there. We saw a really good race in the middle of the pool between the 3 ladies. Really pushing each other on. I mean, how important is that? To look at your competitors and be able to take that challenge on. I know, Em, you're primarily a backstroker, but I'm sure you got to take a little glance every time you would do a tumble turn. See where you're at with things.
I absolutely loved swimming backstroke because I could see the TV as I turned, so I could see where I was placed and how I was going. So I had a very good advantage. But what a race that is for a 400 freestyle. Only 0.15 between them both, so nothing in it. But what a point score for Maloney there to take out that win in that 707 point score. Maloney will be your multi-class age champion in that one. Gerard there with a 600 point score and Gibbs with a 575. What a way to start night number 1. Some high point scores, some great personal best times. As we head now, this is your girls 16 to 18 years multi-class 400 metre freestyle final. These girls did exceptional this morning, and I can't wait to see what they do tonight. We had a couple of girls break that 5-minute barrier this morning, and it'll be exciting to see what they do tonight. So you can see we have lots of different classes again. We have some S19s, a fair few S9s, and an S7 out there. So we have to wait to see those point scores come through. But those times, they're fighting for those personal bests as well.
Absolutely. Now the top points from this morning was Victoria Belando Nicholson, who you can see on the screen now. She pulled 706 points from this morning, so really strong outing. Hopefully she can be around that mark or even a little bit faster, and she'll be in a very, very good position. And then it was Grace Brimlow with 630, Emily Pratt with 591. So we're expecting the race to be in the middle of the pool. We're still seeding the race from time. But that's what's great about these multi-class events. You cannot count anybody out until the end of the race.
You mentioned Victoria Belando Nicholson, of course, Grace Brimlow. Both of these girls are S9 swimmers, so we might have a race within a race here. And looking back at the 12 to 15 final, obviously Annabelle Maloney and S10. So can the S9 girls match it with the S10 swimmer in the previous final?
Take your marks. This is your girls 16 to 18 years multi-class 400 metre freestyle final right here. We saw some high point scores in that first final, and we can't wait to see what these girls do in this one. Off to a great start is Dennis in lane number 4, looking very strong, comfortable lead. So maybe that's part of her tactic, boys, is to really take it out nice and strong and make the other girls chase her a bit here.
Yeah, absolutely. The girls could definitely use her as a bit of a carrot in this race. Though you are trying to stick to your own race plan most of the time, but it is nice to have someone out there pushing the pace a little bit, try and get you under your personal best without any magical mark that you might be chasing. But it is Ave Dennis very early on, chasing that clock, chasing that time. The time from this morning was 4:53.12, so as it is with any age championships, you do really want to try and improve from the morning to the night swim. So we'll see what the girls have in store for us here. Come down to the 100 metre mark. It is Dennis, followed by Belando Nichols and Brimlow. Putting in a lovely race there. As you mentioned earlier, Jake, that could be the race to watch.
I think so, Alex. Yeah, Victoria Belando Nicholson through there really nicely. She had a really smart swim this morning, a 4:56.25. Fantastic as an S9 swimmer. And we know that everyone has their different strengths. So I'm looking to see Victoria swim through there in lane 5 as the race progresses, and she does have her S9 competitor in Grace Brimlow. So both of the girls have started really well, but we do have Ava Dennis. She's started really strong. So let's see if she can hang on to this lead in terms of the time throughout the race.
Absolutely. We've mentioned these tactics before. We just have seen Dennis take it out very hard. Noticing just a little bit of a drop off on the legs now, maybe trying to conserve some energy so she can bring the race home hard. We are coming up to the 200 metre mark, to the halfway point of this 400 metre freestyle. The girls looking very strong. The strokes are nice and smooth. Really long out in front. Belando Nichols, the really high elbows, powerful strokes, powerful freestyle strokes. Really got to work these turns as well as we head to the second half of this race. They put in a fair effort here. We are chasing times and we are chasing points. We're chasing each other as well. We're using, hopefully the girls are using each other, looking around, seeing where everyone's at, just to spur you on that little bit extra.
You can see Dennis has a great lead out in front there. Lando Nicholson in lane 5, taking that second position just in front of Brimlow out in lane number 3. Then it's Ferguson out in 6 and Pratt out in 2, holding on to those top few spots there. Dennis looking very strong, but ever so slightly, I feel she's just taken off the gear. Lando Nicholson doing a great job keeping up that pace. And you can see Brimlow ever so slightly raising that stroke rate.
Absolutely. And the top points, just as a reminder from this morning, was Belando Nicholson, 7:06. Grace Brimlow, 6:30. Emily Pratt, 5:91 out of this morning. So we're looking for time and we are looking for points as they head home for the last 100 metres of this 400 metre event for the girls 16 to 18 years. There is national titles on the line. As we know, we started this week very strong. We can keep the ball rolling here. We start to see some of the girls pick up their stroke rates a little bit, and that is the speed that their arms are turning over. So when you're trying to pick up the pace, often your arms start going a little bit faster. You're trying to get your legs moving a little bit more as they head into the final turn now. It is Dennis. Got a bit of a lead on the rest of the field, trying to pick up her legs now. But Belando Nicholson as well, starting to bring those legs in. The stroke rate's picked up a little bit more. Now we're going to see some pretty good time drops, I'm going to assume, with 25 to go.
They're looking really strong, the girls. And Grace Brimlow over there is actually a Paralympian from Paris in the triathlon. So watch her back end here, but Ava Dennis is finishing really strong. It did look like she took the foot off the gear with about 100 to go, but she's really kicked in and had a really strong finish. So 450.75, 455 points, but keep an eye out for the other girls. Victoria Belando Nicholson, 699 points, 4 minutes 57.22, the S9 swimmer. And Grace Brimelow, not too far away as an S9 as well, 653 points, 504.08.
Great to see these girls get out there and swim faster than the morning. That is the number one thing to do for swimming, is to go faster from heats to finals. So fantastic to see them be able to do that and throw out some massive point scores too. I know Nicholson leading the way in that 699 so far, as we watch the last couple of swimmers to come down to the wall. Very nice and strong.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Em. Especially with your first age nationals. Really just focusing on the process. You know, you qualified here for a reason. You just really want to back yourself in, especially if you get the chance to swim again in the finals. You really want to try and drop some time and just execute some things that maybe went a little bit wrong in the morning, or something that you might be training with your coach. A fantastic effort there from the ladies as a few more point scores pop up. It is still Benaldo Nicholson with the top score here. Grace Brimelow, as Georgia Beerling touches the wall. Lovely improvement from this morning as well. So really good effort. First two races.
Dominated by our S9s there, team. We do know that the S9 classification is one of our prouder classifications, you could say, in the 400 metres freestyle in the Paralympic world. Obviously, Brendan Hall, our Paralympic legend in the male events, but also Lakeisha Patterson. She did win the gold in the 400 freestyle in Rio in the S9 category. Now in the S8 category, of course, my apologies. And in Tokyo, Lucky did win the 400 freestyle in the S9 category and carried that on in Paris to collect silver. So although she's shifted from the S8 to S9 over the years, that S9 classification in the 400 freestyle is a really popular one here for our Aussie swimmers.
Belando Nicholson will take home that gold medal in that 400 metre freestyle. Brimelow with the silver and Pratt with the bronze. As we head now, this is your boys 12 to 15 years multi-class 400 metre freestyle. This will be another great race and some really high point scores. We saw a lot of these boys under that sub 5 minutes this morning. So let's see how many more we can get in tonight's final. Like we see a lot of S19s, S14s, S9s, S6s in here. So it will be a race on those point scores. So wait to see at the end for those point scores to come through. But I'm excited for this race.
In lane 5,
McDonough there in lane number 4. S14 swimmer from TSS Aquatic had a great swim this morning. Kerr out in lane 6. Hughes in 5, Nichols in 3, Graham in 2. It really could be anyone's race, isn't it, Jake? It doesn't matter what lane they're in. It's on that time and on that classification and on that point score.
Yeah, that's right. And it really doesn't matter what lane you're in. As long as you've got a lane in the final, that's all that matters. I do have my eyes on tonight. Eli Kerr, he topped the points this morning in the 12 to 15 age group for this particular event. So Eli, although not in lane 4, he did top the point score. So keep an eye on him, but he will be pushed. It will be good for him to have the S14s and S19 in Keegan Hughes on the inside of him.
And they're away, the boys, 12 to 15 years, 400 metre freestyle. The girls have set the tone the last couple of heats. What have the boys got in store for us in the same event? Now they're going out pretty strong here. Lots of whitewash around the legs indicates that they're pushing it hard pretty early. You're going to try and see them settle into their strokes in the second and third laps as they move through this 400 metre race. It's early on. It is going to be Hughes that turns first, followed by McDonough from TSS. Really solid showings this morning. Can be quite hard to back up from these longer distance races, having to do 2 of them in the same day. But I'm sure lots of practice, and that's what these age championships are about. Practice makes perfect. Want to make that step up into the open age groups as well. So it's really good to test yourself in the morning and then throw down something pretty solid again tonight. So it's Keegan Hughes that will lead us through the first 100-metre mark. Very solid 105. So field starts to separate it out just a little bit. Everyone's getting into their rhythm now.
He's playing a bit of catch me if you can, isn't he, Keegan Hughes? He started really strong through in 105, which is a nice quick first 100 there. And he is dragging the boys out with him. He does have quite a high stroke rate, but that might be his strength. So let's keep an eye on Keegan Hughes as the race progresses. He's through the 150. He has held his lead there in 140.95, but Luke McDonough has moved up the S14 swimmer as well. So they are now together, and that's been great to get those boys out in that 1:40.
Absolutely. This morning, Jake, we were talking about that fly and die tactic and how you were quite renowned for going out as hard as you can and maybe dropping off towards the end. And potentially seeing that with Keegan Hughes, now that McDonough has put in an absolutely ripping second 100 here.
Yeah, Keegan started pretty strong there, but Luke McDonough has moved through the lane 4 swimmer. He has upped his stroke rate. He's in 2:16.41. Keegan Hughes through in 2:17.41. So let's hope he can drag the other boys out. We do have Eli Kerr, the S9 swimmer, through in 2:24.55. As well as Caleb Nichols, the S14 swimmer. So we do know that these boys will be pushing each other. And at the end of the day, when it comes down to racing, it doesn't matter what classification you are. These boys will be really giving it everything they've got. But the lane 4 swimmer, Luke McDonough, now moving away from Keegan Hughes.
Yeah, he's put in a really good middle part of this race here, and you do work with your coaches, your home coaches. They will run you through a little bit of a technique, tactical attack on the race. So this could have been directions to work the middle part of this race, the middle 200s, and to hold on to see what you've got left on that last 100 metres. But looking very, very good so far. Had the second most points this morning, did Luke McDonough, with a 5:42. So we'll definitely be on points watch tonight. He's looking strong, heading into that 300-metre mark, 100 metres to go. Also out there as well, Caleb Nichols, putting in a pretty solid outing. But can't rule out Eli Kerr either. He was the top point scorer from this morning. So 75 metres to go for the leaders. Looking pretty strong there. Look, big 6-beat kick. Usually a pretty good indication of how hard they're trying when they're kicking fairly hard.
It's always nice when you've got the legs to bring in at the end of the race. So it seems like he's timed this really well, and it doesn't look like he's slowing down anytime soon. Luke McDonough, 4:04.81 through the 350-metre mark. 4:46 for the S14 swimmer this morning. So I think he might be well and truly under that in this evening's final of the 12 to 15 boys multi-class 400 freestyle. And don't forget our S6 swimmers as well. We do have lanes 8 and 9. We've got Jonty Howland, our New Zealand international, as well as Eddie Clare. So don't forget about our S6 swimmers who have a bit of time up their sleeves. Swimming home, though, in lane 4, Luke McDonough's finished really strong. He's up this rate and he's touched in 4:40.16, and it's a pretty tight finish for the other boys. We do have lane 5, Keegan Hughes, finishing really strong, and Caleb Nichols third on the wall. But we do know that we need to keep an eye on the rest of these boys as the point scores come through. Eli Kerr, 609 points, currently with the most points in the field.
Yeah, some strong finishes for the boys just then. That 543 for Nichols there. McDonough's points didn't come through, so we'll wait to see that point score when it becomes official. 502 there. But some really good times, so great to see them drop from this morning to tonight's program.
Yeah, really solid drop in time there from the boys. Spurring each other on. Obviously, we had some different leaders at different stages of those races, so We saw Keegan Hughes take it out quite quickly and might have helped Luke McDonough just drag him out a little bit quicker than what he would have if he wasn't there. And then he really put his pedal to the metal, that middle 200 metres, separated himself from the rest of the pack. Got a couple of swimmers still finish up their races. The all-important point score we'll see pop up on the board. And it was Deacon Chopping this morning who decided he wanted to keep swimming after his 400, and he did an extra 100 out in lane 0 tonight. So great to see him having another crack and getting amongst it again.
I was inspired by that. I would have been pretty exhausted, you could say, after doing a 400, but that was very motivating there from Deacon Chopping, and great to see him back up tonight in the final. We've just had Jonty Howland finish our S6 swimmer with 450 points, so he's well and truly in the mix. But at this stage, Eli Kerr is our gold medalist. We're not all finished yet, though. We've got to wait for Eddie Clare to finish off his event here. But we do have Eli Kerr currently in the lead with our point score, and Caleb Nichols looks to be our silver medalist as Eddie Clare touches in 6:53.30.
As we wait for those results to become official, all those points are getting tallied up, and we'll find out who takes out the boys 12 to 18 years 400 metre freestyle, and it will be Kerr that takes the gold medal in that 609 point score over Luke McDonald there in 577. Nichols with that 543. That is your gold, silver and bronze medalist in that event. As we have a look now, this is your boys 16 to 18 years multi-class 400 metre freestyle final. Now we have some big names in here. We have some boys throwing out some really high point scores this morning. Callum Simpson with an 800 point score this morning in that 400 freestyle, so I'm really excited to see that. He is swimming in lane number 4. Toga there in 3. A great swim this morning. Gibson. Who do you have your eye on in this one, Jake?
I'm really looking forward to watching Callum Simpson swim here, and he's our Paralympic Games champion from the Paris Games in the 100 freestyle for the S8 classification. He's swimming up here to do the 400, but I know that Cal really likes this event. And he does have his competitor, Jackson King, fellow S8 swimmer from Sunshine Coast Grammar. So both Sunny Coasters, our S8 swimmers, and we do have 2 S9s in the middle as well. Something that stands out to me, though, Em, is an entry time as Cal gets called out here in lane 4 is 4 minutes 25. He was 4 minutes 36 this morning. But we just saw our previous final, the 12 to 15 years boys, clocking just under that 5 minutes as our S9 swimmers in the 600 point range. We know Callum being a classification lower. This morning he scored in the 800s with his points. So it just goes to show that level of competition that Callum's at as an 18-year-old in the 16 to 18 year category here for our boys 16 to 18 years multi-class 400 metre freestyle. About to dive in.
Take your marks.
This is your boys 16 to 18 years multi-class 400 metre freestyle final. They're racing for that gold, silver and bronze, and to call themselves the national champion. Callum here in lane number 4. Simpson had a great swim this morning, a really high point score. As you said, Jake, he is the Paris gold medalist in that 100 metre freestyle. So we know he definitely has speed.
Yeah, Callum certainly has some speed, and he's showing it here early. He's out the only man here under 30, so 29.6 for Cal through that first 50. He's riding the wave there a little bit. His breathing's to his left and swimming really strong, so he's going to drag the field out here. We know that Jackson King, his S8 competitor, will be over in lane 0. We've got a couple of the S9 boys in the middle there flanking Callum, so they'll have their eye on each other as well. under the flags at the 100-metre turn, though. He's started strong. He's threw in 1:02.49, a couple of seconds under his 100-metre split this morning. So obviously Callum's looking to throw it down, but lane 5 there, swimming really well as well. Jack Gibson, the S9 swimmer, going out with Callum, the 16-year-old from Dapto.
Yeah, doing a great job, Gibson. Also Toa in lane number 3 and Harrington holding on for those top 4 positions. Looking very strong out there. Simpson really trying to show his dominance in this 400-metre freestyle. Would he be fully tapered for this event, do you reckon, Jake?
I'd be interested. And Callum's racing later in the week as well, at our Open Multi-Class Championships, which will follow our Age Multi-Class Championships. So a big week of racing for Callum. I'm going to guess a little drop taper, but maybe we can find that out as the week goes on. He looks pretty fresh, though, whether he's training the house down at the moment, and this is just an awesome performance regardless for him. So at the 2-minute mark now, we look for Cal to pass through in that 2:10. Looking to better his time from this morning. So he was 4 minutes 36 this morning with an entry time of 4:25. So 2:11.56. He's on pace here for a PB.
It'd be a really good swim here by Callum. As you said before, would he be tapered? He's obviously swimming the Open Champs as the week progresses. And it's quite often when you're doing a few less Ks and you're racing a little bit more that you do tend to freshen up a little bit towards the end of the week. So we could potentially see some pretty solid times once he hits the Open pool. He's looking really good here. Got a few body lengths on the rest of the field. His legs are looking controlled. His strokes are looking nice and long. His walls are looking strong too. So as he goes into that 250-metre mark, really strong push-off. Looks like he's got a really good rhythm as well, and that's really important in these 400 and above freestyle races, is to find that rhythm, find that stroke rate, and really work to your strengths there. He'll be doing a lot of work in training on his stroke rate and being able to hold that pace to do these events. And when he brings that back down to his 100, he'll be trying to turn that up a little bit more. So I would not be surprised in the last 100 metres here, he picks it up a little bit, especially in that last 50, to try and maximise the speed that he has.
He turns through in that 3:22.73. Gibson in that second position so far in that 3:27.48. Toa in that third position in that 3:34.6. So very strong for those first 3 boys. Harrington holding on for that 4th position. But doing a great job out in front is Simpson, really pulling away from the rest of the field, but holding on nice and strong to that water. So he's looking great. Gibson holding in for that second position. So this is to call themselves the age champion in this event, that 400 freestyle. So, and Simpson's last year in the age group as well. So he'll be fighting for this one too.
Absolutely, Em. He's on the home straight here. So threw in 3:59 there, Cal. Swimming really, really well to get to that point with 1:50 to go here. So let's see what he can throw down. We know his PB's 4:25. We know that World Championship qualifier, or the Pan Pac qualifier, my apologies, for this year is about that 4 minutes 30 mark. So let's see how Cal can go, clocking in. He's under the flags now, and he's going to touch the wall in 4:34.87. So 844 points for Cal, and a great finish. Look at those point scores there, 716 from Tua, and Gibson with 717. We'll wait for those official results to come through, though.
844 so far, leading the point score. Callum Simpson out in lane number 4. That's 716. Toa in lane number 3, holding on for that second position. But wait to see all these boys finish, and we'll see those point scores come up on the screen. That really showed a great performance in that 400-metre freestyle. Simpson really held that together very nice and strong. Toa did a great job to just hold on, and Gibson with quite a battle for those 2 boys. King there with that 536. As we wait for Oliver Martin there in lane number 9 to come to the wall, and we'll see his point score. At 457. So some great times, but some great high point scores. You've got to think Callum Simpson's pretty happy with that. An 844 point score, a 34.87. He looked nice and strong, very much in control of that whole race, stayed in the lead and just kept trying to push that little bit further. As we wait for those results to become official on the screen, they are up there right now. So Callum Simpson will take the gold medal with the 844-point score. Liam Toa in that silver position, that 716, and King with the bronze medal, 536. Simpson didn't look overly happy with that for an 800-point score.
Yeah, I think looking at his PB from this morning, M425, I think that would be it. And I called it earlier. It looked like he was on pace, but through that second and third 100, he just fell off that pace a little bit. So being a tough competitor on himself, I'm sure, like the rest of these boys in here tonight, looking at a PB is the most important thing for them, and a little bit off his PB, so that's what I'm going to guess there for Callum. We did have a disqualification in there too, so Jackson King crept up to that bronze medal, which is great.
As we move now, this is your girls 12 to 13 years multi-class 100-metre breaststroke. We had some great swims this morning. A lot of these girls probably at their first multi-class age championships too, so great to see them have this experience to come back in a final session and swim again under the lights at this beautiful venue, the Gold Coast Aquatic Centre. As we have a look at that start list, you can see S9 teams, S9, even an S7 out there. So we have to wait to the end to see those high point scores come through. They'll all be different, but they're certainly fighting for a personal best time. Bragg Leighton there in lane number 4, Duffy in 5, Allison in 3. It will be a very close race and some really high point scores I'm hoping for. How about you, Jake?
Yeah, Paige Duffy was our fastest on points this morning, Em, so keep an eye out for Paige. And I'm also keeping an eye out for my fellow Tasmanian there, Kate Allison from South Esk in Launceston. So let's keep an eye out on her too.
Take your marks.
And the girls are in the water. This is your 12 to 13 years multi-class 100-metre breaststroke. Bragg Leighton there in lane number 4. Had the fastest time this morning, that 1:25.59. And we wait to see those point scores at the end, but looking very strong in the middle of the pool. Duffy in lane number 5, trying to hold on as well. This breaststroke is all about that, getting that technique and getting the fastest way to the end of the pool. And they're looking very strong in this first 50, 38.18. For Bragg Leighton there, Duffy with that 40.20. And really trying to pull away from the rest of the field. You can see her in that bright orange cap out in front.
Yeah, Paige Duffy looks good there, Em. She's swimming nicely in lane 5, but at the moment it is Sophia Bragg Leighton, the 13-year-old, swimming really well. 15 to 20 metres to go here, so let's keep an eye on not only the times that the girls swim, but those point scores as well. We do have Kate Allison in here, our SB9 swimmer from South Esk. So under the flags now, Sophia Bragg Leighton. 1:25.59 was the time this morning. She's going to beat that tonight. 386 points, 1:23.68. We do have Paige Duffy, who topped the points this morning, and she's done so again so far, 579 points in 1:26.40. But Kate Allison as well, looking really good with 460 points. And don't forget Sienna Compton out there in lane 8, 475, clocking 1:31.67. So it was a pretty even spread across the field there. And we have Bella Forge-Botel in lane 9, yet to finish. Not too far to go here, our SB7 swimmer from Sunshine Coast Grammar.
So Duffy so far with that highest point score, that 579. As we wait for our final swimmer to hit the wall and see that point score, see those personal best times, 255. So it will be Duffy that takes that gold medal, that 579 point score. A great result. That silver medal going to Compton there in 475. And Allison with that bronze in that 460 point score. A fantastic job for these girls. coming into their first or second multi-class age championships, coming away with that gold medal. She seemed pretty happy with that, Duffy.
Yeah, absolutely pumped, and as they should be. It's no small feat coming to an age nationals. Qualifying, going through that process and chasing those national times. Always got those times in the back of your head when you're training. Remember when I was an age group swimmer, I was always looking for those national times and even trying to get the times at the age group above. So I knew that I could go the year after as well.
As those results become official on your screen right now, Duffy taking home the gold medal in that 579-point score. So a great point score for her. Compton with that silver in that 475. Alison with the bronze in the 460. As we move now to your next final, this is your girls 14 to 15 years multi-class 100-meter breaststroke. You see Mia Hogan in lane number 4, Haskell in 5, Selick in lane number 6. It's going to be a really tight race. Selick had a very good point score this morning, and she looked very strong as well, and she looked really happy with her morning swim. So be exciting to see what she can produce tonight, Jake.
Absolutely, Em. I'm really excited to see Sarah Hancock as well. She topped the points in this age category this morning, the girls 14 to 15 years 100-meter breaststroke, and this is what we love about para-swimming, sorry guys, is SB6 Sarah Hancock topped the points, and Mia Hogan, our SB13 swimmer, was second on points, but there's a 24-second discrepancy there, so it just reminds us to keep an eye on all of the girls until they've actually touched the wall, which makes it really exciting heading into this final, our second girls breaststroke final, the 14 to 15 years girls.
And the SB, Jake, can you run us through that, what the B is there for in these categories?
Absolutely, Alex. So with our para swimmers, each swimmer will get 3 numbers next to their name. One is S, so that is for freestyle and butterfly and backstroke events. The SM is for the medley events, and the SB is for breaststroke events. So depending on their impairment, they may not necessarily have the same number for those 3 different categories there. So some of our breaststrokers are actually SB8s, whereas they might be an S9.
Take your marks.
Final of the girls 14-15 years multi-class 100 metres breaststroke is underway. We keep an eye on Mia Hogan, our SB13 swimmer in the middle lanes there, and Gemma Selick swam really well this morning. We do know as well to keep an eye on our SB6 swimmers, Sarah Hancock, and Dorothy Pascoe, our visitor as well from Hungary, swam really well this morning, and the girls make their way down that first lap of the 2-lap dash. At this stage, keep an eye on Mia Hogan from Kurrawa, swimming really well. She's swimming away from the rest of the field.
One out like a jet has Mia Hogan. 520 points this morning, really throwing down the gauntlet here tonight. I wonder if there was anything that she could have improved on this morning. She's gone and had a quick chat to her coach. Maybe she could have taken out the race a bit quicker this morning, but she seems to have taken on that sort of advice and that sort of mindset leading into this final. She's making it all her own at the moment. But the battle for second and third, time-wise, is getting down to it. There's a group of girls there that are very, very close. But it's all Mia Hogan at this stage as we're coming down to the final 10 metres. And we're looking at the clock and we're looking at the points. She was 520 points this morning, a 126.5. And she's going to go well under that. So it is a fantastic improvement from this morning's swim with a 122.6. A 597 on the points in the race for second and third. It will be Pascoe, our visitor from Hungary, 131.2. And then Swan Fitzner in third place with a 131.32. So very tight battle there as we look at some of the points pop up. And it is Sarah Hancock in lane 8 with a 619, which will actually be the top points so far in this race.
That's right, Alex. Mia Hogan there made it really hard for Sarah, beating her time from this morning. But Sarah Hancock, 619 points, 1 minute 45.44 there for the SB6 swimmer.
Yeah, fantastic effort there. And as you said at the start of the race, it's not necessarily about who's doing the fastest times. There is other factors at play, other categorizations at play. And even though she finished a little bit behind the girls at the front, it's Hancock that came away with the win there.
A minute 22 for an SB13 swimmer is exceptional, let alone her age. She's swimming fantastic, and she's only 14 as well in the 14 to 15 years category. So a couple of the girls there, 14, swimming up, you could say. And she smashed her heat swim there, Mia Hogan. But Sarah Hancock, of course, what a swim there. She's had a great start to the meet.
Indeed, out of Darwin as well. Not often you get to see some of the swimmers coming from the Northern Territory, but it's always a pleasure when we do. A fantastic effort, representation. And the results are now up on the screen there. It is Hancock, 145 with 619 points. Hogan in second place, 597 points. And Selleck bringing in the bronze with 483. A fantastic effort there by the girls, 14 to 15 years age groups, as we move to the 16 to 18 years. So not a full heat, this one. So more opportunities for these girls to potentially get amongst the medals tonight. But I would have to say that they're probably getting out there and aiming for personal best, aiming to race the clock. And just testing themselves for the morning. It's so important to take some lessons from the morning swims and try and put them into action for the final swims. Can teach you a lot, and that's how we do it in the open events. You've got to get pretty good at working it in the morning and then coming home, resting, getting something really good to eat, fueling yourself up, and then throwing down a nice time in the evening too.
You've got to think it would be a great battle in the middle of the pool for Hurden, Carrington and Ryder. They're all SB19 athletes, so you know that one will be the first one to the wall. But Gillespie, that SB8, so look out for her in lane number 6 for a fast time and a high point score, and Klein in lane number 2 as the girls are on the blocks.
Take your marks.
The final of the girls, 16 to 18 years, multi-class 100 metres breaststroke. They're in the water, and it was a really tight battle this morning for these 5 girls in terms of their time. So look for a great race here, regardless of classifications. The middle lanes, of course, those swimming through nicely to start with. In lane 4, Jessica Carrington, our SB19 swimmer, starting off strong, and our fellow SB19 swimmers flanking her and swimming really well in lanes 3 and 5 there. So what a great start to the race from these girls in this final of the 16 to 18 years 100 metre breaststroke for our girls.
Yeah, it looks to be Carrington taking it out early, and Ryder not far behind here. Sub 40 first split there for Carrington. Really powerful underwater there. That was great to see. Good to see the skills on offer in the turns, in the underwaters. The skills can be so important in these breaststroke races. Can really make or break the event as they move down towards the last 25 metres. It is still Carrington in the middle of the pool. Put together 363 points this morning. Summer Klein out in lane 2 with 443 points. And Alyssa Gillespie in lane 6. So the outside smokers in this race with the most points from this morning. But the action is in the middle of the pool here. And it's Carrington and Ryder touching first and second for the time, and Hurden in third. But again, we are looking for the point score. And it is Alyssa Gillespie churning in 517 points for the win. And it'll be Summer Klein with the 434 points for second place there.
Great job for those girls. She seems very happy with that result. She will be your gold medalist with that high point score of 517. As we have a look at that replay, you can see Carrington on your screen right now in that yellow cap, really pulling away from the rest of the field. Klein there next to her, Ryder, Hurden, Gillespie taking out that win, taking home that gold medal. That time 132.01 over Klein there to take home the silver medal in that 434. And Carrington with the bronze. that 360-point score. Some great swimming as we head now to the boys 12 to 13 years multi-class 100-metre breaststroke final. This will be another great race to watch, so don't go anywhere. As we have a look at the names in this field, we have one 12-year-old out there with Wilson in lane number 6. The rest of the field is 13. And that SB11 out in lane number 2. Isaac doing a great job to be in this final, and we're going to watch him for some high point scores, aren't we, Jake?
Yeah, and Lachlan Mackay, he topped the points this morning, in the 12 to 13 boys 100 metres breaststroke. And a national championship is up for grabs here, so these boys choosing to spend their school holidays over the Easter break competing for their clubs at the national championship. So when school goes back, who can be the one to say that they went off and won a gold medal here on the beautiful Gold Coast at the Australian Multi-Class Age Championship? So on the blocks we have the boys 12 to 13 years 100 metre breaststroke final.
Take your marks.
And we are away, the boys 12 to 13 years 100 metre breaststroke. Got 5 people in the water tonight, and they're all making their move straight off the block. Some really strong starts out of the middle of the pool. Looks to be Mackay at this stage. And one of the better names in the field, Diesel Thompson out of lane 5. Looking pretty strong as well.
Great start from Christian Wilson too. He was really quick off the blocks, but you are right there, Alex. Lane 4 swimming through really nicely now. Lachlan Mackay under the flags, approaching that wall. We want to get through the wall, in and out as fast as we can. 39.47 for Mackay there, our S14 boy. What a great start to the meet for him. We're eyeing off 1 minute 26.93 from this morning. So he's made a bit more ground through the turn there. He doesn't look to be slowing down anytime soon. The boys are making his job tough, though. Either side of him, lanes 3 and lane 5, Levi Jarrett and Diesel Thompson. We know that he'll come home strong.
Yeah, but it is Lachlan Mackay at this stage of the race. Stroke rate's up, so they're putting in a fair amount of effort. A couple of long, smooth strokes either side of him. But also keep an eye on Levi Jarrett, who's making a late push for the medals here. As we come down to the wall, it is Mackay who's going to touch the wall first in a 1:25.47. 394 points, which is the fastest and the most amount of points. So that's a really, really strong swim for Mackay. Now the boys touching the wall pretty much in the 300s, so it's really strong swims.
It was a great battle there, and we've got Thomas McIsaac still finishing. He's got 1 stroke to go there. Our S11, our SB11 swimmer. What a great swim there from Thomas. 245 points a minute, 51.95. So that was a great swim there from Thomas. So he's not only improved from his seed time, but he's also beaten his heats time. So we, of course, always want a PB, but one thing that our coaches always talk about, isn't it, Em, is progressing from heats to finals. We don't want to be slower at night time when the lights are bright and our name gets called.
No, fantastic to see these young boys really showing that they can step up from heats to finals. As we look now, Mackay will take the gold medal in that 394-point score in front of Jarrett there with the silver, 345, and Wilson with that 341-point score. So a great job for those S14 athletes there in that gold, silver, and bronze. As we have a look now, the next final coming out now is the boys 14 to 15 years multi-class 100-metre breaststroke. Another great battle on our hands. Osberg in 4, Park, Howland, Pang, Williams. Where will this one come from, do you reckon, Jake?
I'm impressed at Jonty Howland. He must have had a really quick costume change or not out the back. Probably not, because we know our racing suits take so long to take on and off. But he just did the 400 freestyle not too long ago. So our New Zealand swimmer has done a fantastic job to back up. So I'm keen to see how he goes. But Cyrus Fosberg, our SB9 swimmer, he had a great swim. He was 1 minute 19.57 this morning, and he was our leader in terms of the points this morning as well. So keep an eye on him. He'll have his eyes on some of our older athletes as well. We had Knox Gibson this morning in the 16 to 18 years category, and he's obviously an SB9 swimmer as well. So as Alex said before, these boys will also be eyeing off our older swimmers as well. We want to knock them off as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Always got to keep one eye on what the older athletes are doing. As the 14 and 15-year-old boys get ready to rock and roll.
The boys 14 to 15 years, multi-class 100-metre breaststroke final underway. We have 6 swimmers here contesting for the national championship, the gold medal here for our best swimmer in Australia in the 14 to 15 years age group here. So keep an eye on Cyrus Fosberg. Started really well in the middle there. Topped the points this morning. Looks quite controlled out of lane 4 at the moment.
Yeah, he's looking good. Right next to him, Mingzi Pang. Had a pretty busy morning this morning, swimming multiple events, won some medals at the last year's championships as well. So he's a seasoned competitor. You see some really strong underwater there from Roger Tui as well. But it is Cyrus Fosberg pulling away a little bit as the stroke rates lift from some of the competitors in the field now as they're trying to get to the end of the wall.
You can hear the coaches going for it. Obviously, our breaststroke swimmers, they lift their head out. They must breathe and exit the water with every stroke. So the coach is spurring them on. In lane 4, my apologies. They're swimming really well to finish this race. Is Cyrus Fosberg, 119 this morning. He's under the flags and a couple of strokes to go. I think he's going to beat that. 542 points, 1 minute 18.53. And we'll wait for the other boys to finish. 1 minute 24.25 there. That's also a really good swim from Mingzi Pang. And we keep an eye on Jonty Howland, our visitor, our SB6 swimmer in lane 7. He's backing up from the 400 freestyle. He was 3rd on points this morning. So let's cheer Jonty on as he approaches the wall. 365 points, 1 minute 48.59. So Jonty just off the medals there. So our gold medalist Cyrus Fosberg swimming really well. Mingzi Pang taking the silver. And a really good swim from Michael Williams as well, our SB14 swimmer, collecting the bronze. We will wait for those results to become official. But what a race there for our 14 to 15-year-old boys in the breast event.
Fosberg doing a great job of showing a little bit of dominance in that field as well. That S9 athlete with that high point score will take home the gold medal. That 542 point score in front of Pang there, 411 for the silver, and Williams with the bronze with that 385 point score. As we move now to the next final on the program, this is your boys 16 to 18 years multi-class 100-metre breaststroke. We see Simpson out in lane number 0 in this breaststroke. So he's done the 400 free. He's here for the 100 breaststroke. So I'm very interested in that race from him. But Matthews in lane number 4 looked very strong this morning. So I'm excited what Bo Matthews can produce here in this final. SB9 athlete, Callum Simpson, SB8 athlete. But a very scattered field, so we don't know where that high point score will come from.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we know that Jake Mickle is one of our Paralympic heroes or idols, you could say, for some of these boys. Our SB14 silver medalist from both Paris and Tokyo. So we'll see how Jake goes in the next couple of years in the lead up to LA. Can he make that leap to the gold? And we do have a couple of SB14 lads in here. And we know that they would, of course, be looking up to Jake. So we'll see how Bo Matthews goes in the middle, our SB9 swimmer. He's not going to make it easy for those SB14 athletes.
Take your marks.
In the water, the boys 16 to 18 years, 100 metres breaststroke final. Bo Matthews was one of the ones to beat this morning. He had a really fast heat swim. He's through to the final in 1:12.20, and he started strong again tonight, Alex.
Absolutely. Picked up 697 points from this morning's swim. The lads were laser focused behind the blocks just then. And it shows they're off to a flying start. It is the middle of the pool that's going to lead the way. And it is going to be Matthews who turns first in the 32 seconds. But Rinaldi in second place and Parfitt in third. They're not going to go anywhere. They're sitting right on his hip. So we're expecting a good race to the wall as we come down to the last 25 metres now. It is still Bo Matthews. Again, with 697 points. We are watching the scoreboard when they touch the wall to see the points scored. There are medals up for offer. There is a national championship up for offer as well. So we'll see how the boys go. It's going to be Matthews, but Rinaldi putting in a fantastic last 10. You love to see it, getting the hands on the wall first. And it's Matthews, Rinaldi scoring the most points, 7.57. Pretty handy there from Bo Matthews. And a good drop in time from this morning as well. You love to see it as the rest of our competitors come in to finish up.
Good PB there from Toby Rinaldi as well. 1:11.23, 598 points as Callum Simpson hits the wall. Great swim from the boys there, and Landon Smith as well over in lane 9, the SB14 swimmer. But Bo Matthews, dominant there in terms of our point score system, 110.25. We'll wait for those results to become official. But Toby Rinaldi as well, he was coming late. He had a really strong finish under those flags.
Yeah, he did indeed. It was something else, almost like he turned on the jets with about 10 metres to go. Just left it a little bit too late, but almost had a surge of energy.
And those results are official. Bo Matthews taking home the gold medal there in that 757 point score. Great job from him. Rinaldi taking home the silver with that 598. And Gibson with that bronze medal. As we have a look at the events to come, we have your 200 freestyles and we have the 50 backstroke to round out the field as we have a look at that marshalling room area right now. Live from the Gold Coast, this is the Australian MC Age Championships, live and exclusive on Nine's Wide World of Sport. Welcome back to the Gold Coast Aquatic Centre. This is your finals night number 1. We've seen some great swimming action in those 400 freestyles into those 100 breaststrokes as we move now. This is your girls 12 to 15 years multi-class 200 metre freestyle. As a little bit of rain comes down, but it's not going to stop our swimmers at all at this amazing venue because that finals adrenaline is pumping for these girls. As we head now, having a look at this field, it will be another great race for some of our young ones in this race. Persons in lane number 8, only 12 years of age, racing against some 13, 14 and 15-year-olds. So quite a stacked field.
Yeah, I love to see the pre-race routines from some of the girls dancing around. I think I threw up a few gang signs just before. Could be club related, who knows? But they're obviously pumped up. We have got a little bit of a sprinkling shower happening on the Goldie. Tends to happen at night time up in the southern states. It's not going to stop us at all.
Keep an eye out for Lillian Gould here, guys. Had a great swim this morning. Lane 5, our S14 swimmer, topped the points.
Take your marks.
In the water, the girls, 12 to 15 years, multi-class 200 freestyle national championship. You will notice quite a lot of S14 swimmers coming up in our next couple of finals of our 200-metre freestyle, because this is an event on offer for them on our international stage. But let's not forget our S19 swimmers and S10s and 6s in this race as well. Really excited for this one. It's been a really good start in the middle lanes there. Lillian Gould topped the points, as said, this morning, and Kiara Vanston as well. They're pushing each other. So both of those girls out in 31.92 and 32.29 for Lillian.
Yeah, really solid starts from the girls, and look to be pushing each other as well, especially if they're breathing towards each other, trying to get a sense of where they are sitting in the field. But as we saw the 400s earlier in the session, we're now halving that. We've got the 200s, a bit more of a sprint. I would say a bit of a controlled sprint, but it is still quite painful, the 200. The tactics do come into play as we hit this 100-metre wall. It's still going to be our leaders out of lane 4 and 5. Vanston and Gould setting the tone early.
They've started strong and they haven't dropped away too much, out in 31 and 32. So about 36 seconds there for the second lap for both of those girls. So let's see if they can hold that. If they can, they'll have some really good end times here. So they're halfway through their third lap. This is when you can make a move. This is when you do need to hold on. And it looks like lane 4, Kiara Vanston, our S19 swimmer, is swimming away. But Lillian Gould isn't giving up a fight anytime soon.
It's almost when you say that, Jake, she heard you and took that personally, Gould. Now she's making her move as they head for home. This is going to be a cracking race. The last 50 metres of a 200. What have you got left? They're trying to bring in the legs. They're trying to pick up the stroke rate a little bit. Anything to get their hand on the wall first. There is a national title up for grabs. We'll be looking at times. We'll be looking at points. But it looks like Gould has timed this run to perfection. It was about 10 metres out from the last 50-metre wall. And she looks like she's going to hold on, but Vanston's not going anywhere either. Who's going to put their head down and get to the wall? And that is a fantastic finish from the girls. Vanston with a 2:20.87 and Gould with a 2:21.13. And Biddle with a 2:26. It's going to be Gould who polls the most points in that race, 647 over Vanston's 434. But we do have Clayton, who's just touched. She has put in a 471, which moves her into second place.
We have a Leah Curry too in lane 0, so she's firing home strong, about to pass under the flags. Our S6 swimmer had a really good morning. She was second on points this morning, so let's see what she can come up with. 525 points, with all results waiting for them to become official. Currently in the silver medal position there, but we will wait for those results to become official. We've got Elodie Seebuyer as well from the Hills, 15-year-old, and this is the 12 to 15 years age bracket, and it's awesome to see some of our 12-year-olds swimming as well, swimming up against the girls. But we do have Elodie Seebuyer finishing here, 417 points, 3 minutes 30.23 as they get the whistle to exit the pool.
Yeah, cracking race in the middle of the pool then. Two girls really push each other along. That's what you love to see, especially these age nationals, just using each other for a little bit of speed. Early on, we saw a couple of lead changes.
Gold medal there for Lillian Gould. National championship, how good? Leah Curry, silver with 525 points. A really good swim from those girls. Clayton as well, picking up the bronze medal. So Fantastic swim, and really good to see the girls fight it out. No one was willing to give up there, although different classifications for those two girls that got their hands on the wall first. It was awesome to see that they didn't care about that. They just wanted to get the hand on the wall first for the win in terms of time.
Absolutely. It's really good to see everyone being competitive and coming to these nationals and really wanting to win as well. That's what it's all about. Coming here and wanting to beat your PB and using the other competitors around. I'm sure those the 16 to 18-year-olds who are walking out now would have watched that race. Got a little fired up, seen some times, maybe seen some points, and they've got their own targets, I'm sure.
See a lot of S19s here too, guys. So our S19 swimmers, we talked before about S1 through 10 being for our physically impaired athletes, 11 to 13 for our vision impaired athletes, and S14, they're for our intellectually impaired athletes. So these athletes do have a little bit more of a challenge with, pacing in terms of their competition here, and getting that right. It can be really hard for any of us. And our S19 swimmers, although they're not in that 1 to 14 bracket, which you would see at the Paralympic Games, our S19 athletes also have an intellectual impairment. And these athletes do have the opportunity to compete at the INUS Global Games. So there are still some really big, important competitions on offer on the international stage for these girls. And our S14s and S19s, they do compete against each other, quite a bit.
Take your marks. Relax, swimmer.
Just having a reset here on the blocks for the girls. Which can happen from time to time. You often see it at a few of these meets. The starters may notice something, a little bit of movement, whatever it may be, so they just call the swimmers down, get them to restart.
Take your marks.
The girls 16 to 18 years, 200 metre freestyle multi-class national championship underway and in the water. So a stacked field with our S14 and S19 athletes here. So the race is on the line. We've got a really strong start here from lane 5. So swimming away really well is Ava Dennis. And she had a great morning this morning, our 16-year-old, swimming up against some of our older 17 and 18-year-old girls in this 16 to 18 category. So she's going to pass through really quickly, 31.29 on the wall. And watching across the pool there, lane 3, Grace Ferguson, she's out strong as well, 32.28.
It's a cracking start from the girls. Ava Dennis really throwing it down early, getting out nice and fast, trying to get a jump on the rest of the field. But you're right, Grace Ferguson putting in a strong second lap as well. Just starting to level up now to Ava Dennis as we head towards this 100-metre mark. The top point scorers from this morning, Chloe Maxwell with a 5.10 and Emma Chantry with a 4.64. Now, they both train out of the Umundi District, training partners. So you could say there'd be some rivalry there. They're used to swimming against each other in the same pool at training. Wondering if we're going to see the same tactics out of those girls as well.
So they swim down to that 150-metre mark. We still have lane 5, Ava Dennis there in the lead. But as mentioned earlier, our lane 3 there, Grace Ferguson swimming really well from Bustleton over in the west, our 18-year-old. So she's not going to let her get away too far. And 1 minute 44.3 there for Ava Dennis. A really strong finish. So she looks to bring in the legs, try to up that rate, but still hold her length as she has 35 metres to go.
Yeah, they're coming down now. The stroke's looking good. Might be getting a little bit fatigued now. She went out pretty hard that first 50. So just coming home with whatever they've got left. Can see Grace Ferguson picking up the stroke rate a little bit. Got that boiling water kick that's happening behind her. Also, Chloe Maxwell out in lane 7. Evie Lee out in lane 6, making a late play as well from Geelong. But it is Ava Dennis who's going to touch the wall first in a 2.21. It's a fantastic drop from this morning. Polling in 431 points. She will be the top point scorer so far. But it's going to be Chloe Maxwell who is touched with 463 points. And Summer Vincent, our visitor from New Zealand, coming in with 427. Will be Ava Dennis with a 431 as well. So a couple in the 400. They look to be our medal winners from this event. As Tyra Jensen touches the wall. 295 points. So we'll wait for those results to become official. So watch the replay here. Really strong off the blocks was Ava Dennis. She really fired that first 25. It was almost as if she wanted to go out as hard as she could and try and hold on. A really strong effort in the end there.
It's a really good swim from Chloe Maxwell as well. She was the lead S14 swimmer throughout that race, so we knew that she was going to be very competitive at the end once all times and points were considered, and 2 minutes 37.84 is a really strong swim. So the girls are all done now with their 200 freestyle for the night. For all age categories, we now move to the boys 12 to 15 years multi-class 200 metre freestyle. And we know that Jack Ireland is one of our Paralympic heroes for these young boys, especially our 12 to 15-year-olds. And we know that Jack has been very competitive on the international stage for quite some time now. So he won bronze in the S14 class at the Paris Paralympics.
Representing Red Twin Leagues, Deacon Chopping.
This Deacon Chopping will feature again. He's had several races today. And I think he's going to sleep pretty well tonight, but I'm going to predict he's probably going to have quite a few races as the meet progresses.
In lane 5, representing TSS Aquatic, Luke McDonough.
Charles
In lane 4,
Jordan there in lane number 4
Charles Jorgensen.
was that fastest qualified, that
In lane 3, representing West
2:14.69.
Caleb Nichols.
McDonough's back out with that 2:15.97. See what they can throw out in these races. But we've also got to look out to that lane number 0. Arlo, Lachlan Farlow there, 14 years of age, that S8 athlete. So you have to wait to see at the end those high point scores coming through. But these boys are ready for this 200 metre freestyle. This is your boys 12 to 15 years. As they jump on the blocks right now. Another exciting final.
Take your marks.
Nice clean start for our boys 12 to 15 years. 200 freestyle multi-class national championship. Some quite good reaction times there from the boys. Really strong start from lane 4. Charles Jorgensen, the S9 swimmer from Goulburn. He's started really strong. 2 minutes 14 this morning, and he's going to be out in a really rapid first 50. So let's see what tactics are going to come into play here. And if Charles can hang on, what a start. 28.06 through that first 50 metres. So let's see if he can drag the boys out. We have lane 6 as well, swimming really strong. So Byron Bradley, the S15 swimmer, he's the next to clock through that first 50. So really excited and interested to see how this race unfolds.
Yeah, doing a great job out in front. Charles there comes from Goulburn, so a long way away, but he is doing a fantastic job of this 200 freestyle, really taking it out. And that just might be his tactic to lose the rest of the field. Hopefully he can hold on to this. His legs look nice and strong as he heads in to that last 100 metres. But look at that battle for that second and third position. Very strong between Luke McDonough, Bradley there, Nichols in 3, Austin in 2. So quite a race we have on our hands here, Jake.
And a lot of S14 boys here as well. So we know that they're genuinely racing against each other. It's not just the time on the clock for these guys. It's who can get their hand on the wall first. He's still holding his lead, is Jorgensen, but the other boys are pulling him closer here. Is Luke McDonough starting to make a little bit of a move? He wasn't too far off his heels this morning. There was just a second apart from these guys this morning, 2 minutes 14 and 2 minutes 15. So let's see who can beat that time that was set this morning. He's hanging on strong still, but Luke McDonough is trying to get him. He's breathing towards him. He can almost see his whitewash there now. But Charles Jorgensen is about to pass under those flags, and he is going to hang on. Really excited to see the point score come through, though. Charles Jorgensen is going to beat his time from this morning. What a battle.
Yeah, that second position. Luke McDonald there doing a great job to move through that field in that last 50 metres. Jorgensen taking that one out in that 2:13.72. McDonald in that second touch, that 2:15.00. As we have a look at those point scores, Luke McDonald there with the fastest point score so far at 557. Just in front of Nichols there with that 543. Bradley with that 529. Some great point scores for these boys in that 200-metre freestyle final.
Really close battle there, Em, with just that fact of who can get the hand on the wall first. We talk about the point score, but also just a plain and simple race. Let's see who can get there first, and it was really good showing there from the boys. A lot of these fellas, especially our S14 and S19 competitors, they're up against each other quite a bit. So keep an eye on Deacon Chopping here. He's had a great start to his meet. He's been a busy boy today in 3 minutes 24.32, 335 points. And we'll wait for those point scores to become official, but it was Luke McDonough who had a great race, 557 points. He looks to be our gold medalist, although we will wait for the official results to come through. And a really good swim there from Byron Bradley collecting the bronze.
As we have a look at that replay now, that was your boys 12 to 15 years, 200-metre freestyle. And there was a strong lead from the front, but it was that battle for that second, third position that we saw those high point scores. Luke McDonald very happy with that result. That 557 will get him that gold medal. Nichols with the silver in that 543, and Bradley with the bronze with that 529. Great job for those boys. As we have a look at the next event here to come, the boys 16 to 18 years multi-class 200-metre freestyle final. Rinaldi in lane number 4 out again after that 100-metre breaststroke. Great to see all these boys do multiple races in one day. It's pretty hard when you have the 400 free, the 200 free, the 100 backstrokes, the 50 backstrokes, but you see a lot of them in multiple races. So fantastic to see that, Jake. Is that just a part of that program, or is that training load?
Yeah, I would say, Em. So for a lot of these boys, and we've talked about the S14s, that is an event that is on offer for these fellas at the national, international level. So that's why you quite often see Callum Simpson, for example, not competing the 200. It isn't a race on offer for him internationally, whereas for these S14 swimmers it is. So we always want to try and get to the top, and that's what these guys are doing. But as you said, sometimes it does come into training. I wouldn't be surprised if Callum, from time to time, might be in here competing at 200 just as a training run. But I find with our para swimmers, quite often they will be swimming the events that are going to be the ones on offer for them on the international stage.
Yeah, it's especially prevalent in these age group championships. You do see the same names popping up, and a lot of them still got their towels on from their warm down. They've literally raced a couple of events before, so it is really impressive, the ability to be able to back up and still be competitive and still compete. So I'm looking forward to this one. Toby Rinaldi really threw down the hammer this morning. 205.
He's got long levers, doesn't he?
Does indeed. 700 points from the morning swim. Let's see what he's got in store for us tonight.
The boys 16 to 18 years multi-class 200-metre freestyle final underway. Toby Rinaldi, a really solid swim this morning, our S15 swimmer in 205.75. He started really strong tonight as well. Alexander Scanlon Dawson as well. Zachary McCamley there in the middle lanes. McCamley especially swimming really well up onto Rinaldi, but Rinaldi is the guy in front now, 28.52 on that first 50, and it's nice to see McCamley under the 30-second barrier, 29.54. So let's see to hold on this second 50 for our swimmers as they progress through the 75-metre mark.
Absolutely, he's looking pretty strong out there. Rinaldi settling into his stroke and his stroke rate. That is the key in these 200 metres. You want to have a really fast first 50 metres and settle in and hold that pressure as you head into the 100-metre turn. This is where the jets really need to come in. Approach that third and final turn with a bit of speed to give you that kick that you need for that last lap. He's looking good. He's gone through in a minute flat. It's a pretty solid swim. I think that's a bit quicker than this morning. So he's looking for that 2:05.75 time.
It looks to be holding his rate, and you're an expert in this one, Alex. A 200 freestyler, 100-200 freestyler, and Toby looks to be doing you proud there. He is attacking that third wall, 1 minute 31.82, so he's through in 31 seconds on that third lap. He's on pace to go close to this 2-minute mark here. Let's see if he can do it. He will have to swim quite a quick last 50 to get there, but he's not slowing down at all. And lane 5 swimming really well as well. Alexander Scanlon-Dawson, our S19 swimmer. So the boys are really swimming well as they close in. And we've got Rinaldi. He's 10 metres from the wall now. He's had a fantastic finish. He's got to put his head down and get his hand on the wall, and that's been a great swim. 2:03.22, 762 points for our hearing impaired athlete there. And it's a great battle for the minor placings as well. In terms of the time, 404 points there from Scanlon-Dawson. But look over in lanes 1 and 2, our S14 swimmers as well. A really strong finish there from Lockie Bellion and Cooper Harrington, finishing in the 500-point range, as well as Kai Millison as well. So 500s for the boys and a very close finish for our S14s.
Yeah, that was a really solid hit out from the lads. 16 to 18 years, 200-metre freestyle. Rinaldi leading the way there with a pretty high point score. As we've been mentioning over the course of the night, it is really impressive to see those time drops from morning to night. That's the key. When you come to these age championships, really prepare yourself well throughout the day, trying to execute things that you may have missed this morning, as those results are now official. And it will be Rinaldi with the most points, 2:03.2, pretty solid. He was out in the 00, so good even splitting. And then Bellion, S14 swimmer with a 2:14, 565 points, and Harrington as well, coming in that third place.
Look to our family and friends in the crowd here. We've got a couple more people in the crowd, I think, tonight, you could say, guys. And it's awesome to see our family friends on this Easter weekend here on the Gold Coast at Southport. Seeing some great support for our swimmers, not only our coaches and team leaders and managers here, but also our family and friends, especially for these young swimmers as we go to the girls' 12 to 13 years multi-class 50 backstroke final. Of course, the parents being the one at this age driving all of these athletes to and from training, to and from school. Obviously, it does take a village, so to speak, just to get to this point at the National Age Championships.
Absolutely it does, and it's really great to see the support out there. Again, some of these girls probably lining up for the 3rd or 4th time tonight. So really impressive. Probably had tried their hand in a few of these longer events, and now they're going to have a little dabble in the 1 metre dash, the 50 backstroke. Do you have much time to think, Em, when you're doing a 50 metre backstroke?
For me, a 50 backstroke is get everything right. If one little thing goes wrong, if your dive isn't as great, if your underwater isn't as great, if your finish isn't great, that's enough to change that position from first to almost last in that lane. So you have to be really careful about getting everything right. That's why, for me, the 50 was the hardest, because I was not one to get everything right in one race. It's very hard to do.
Yeah, especially as you get into those open races. A little slip or a little miss could mean anything from 1st to 8th. And they're away clean, the girls, 12 to 13 years, 50 metre backstroke. Some really good underwaters there, showcasing the skills of the young ladies. As they're moving through, you can see the stroke rates. That is how fast they are moving their arms. And we're looking towards the middle of the pool here. Looks to be Rag Lee moving through in the orange cap there. She's going to take the win time-wise, and then right next to her, it'll be Marinello, whose touches as well. But we will look to the points too. It is Compton who's pulled a 4.95. And with all the swimmers wrapped up now, that will be your age champion. Sienna Compton out of New Swim. Fantastic effort there with a 4.95. Looks to be Mackenzie Gibbs in second place with a 4.78. And then our leader on time, Rag Leeton.
Really hard to nail that finish too, Em. An expert in the backstroke events in an outdoor pool. Our Gold Coast Aquatic Centre is amazing, but how hard is it swimming outdoors at night time, especially passing under those flags for you? How do you time that finish?
It's definitely a challenge, but I think for me, I was lucky. I always trained outdoors, so I had the advantage of being able to do that all the time. Some swimmers come from interstates and they don't have the option of swimming outdoors. So for me, my number one tip is in the backstroke event, if you hit a lane rope, stay with that lane rope. Don't bother trying to go back out to the middle, because then you'll find that you'll ping pong down the pool and no one wants to swim more than they have to. So if you hit a lane rope, stick to it, stay there and try to get on that wall as fast as you can. As we move now, this is your girls of 14 to 15 years multi-class 50 metres backstroke. Some great point scores there. As we have a look at this field now, you'll see some big names that we've seen a lot tonight. Hogan out there in lane number 5, Selick in lane number 6, Lillian Gould there in lane number 1, Youssef. So we've seen a lot of these girls race multiple events. So to finish the night with a 50 backstroke sort of almost takes the pressure off. There's not a lot that you can do. You just have to make sure that you get everything right. As these girls are looking very relaxed to finish out that night with a nice sprint 50. What a nice way to finish. It's better than finishing with the 400.
Little shackers there behind the blocks. Loving this from Lily. That wasn't Lillian Gould, was it? That was our lane 7 swimmer there. How good's there seeing that from Lily Gumley. A little bit of dancing behind the blocks. As we about to pin drop in for our 14-15 years girls multi-class 50 metres backstroke final.
Carboni in lane number 4 had the fastest time, that 33.75. But we'll wait to see all those point scores come through to see who will take the gold medal.
Take your marks.
The girls are in the water. This is your 14 to 15 years multi-class 50 metres backstroke final. Racing for that gold, silver and bronze medal. Looking very strong in that front lane, in that lane number 4. Carboni doing a great job. The S19 athlete Hogan in lane number 5, that S13 athlete looking very strong. As we come down under the flags, Carboni's leading the girls through. Let's have a look at that time. Let's have a look at those point scores. Hogan there holding on to that 33.55 for Carboni. 440, but Hogan there 567. Selick 626. Great job for her, that 35.55. S9 athlete in lane number 6, that bright pink cap. Looking very strong. That is a great point score and will take that gold medal, and she's very happy with that. She will take that home and she'll celebrate that. That 626 point score. Selick taking home that win. Hogan for that bronze medal, that 567. So we wait for those results to become official. They're coming on your screen right now. Great race that was, Jake. What do you put it down to?
We love to see the celebrations there too. And these girls put a lot of hard work into their training, so why not? National Championship gold medal. But I think, as you were saying there, and there's a lot of skills that come into play into a 50. You've got to nail the start. You've got to nail that finish. And of course, that swimming in the middle, that 30 metres of swimming from flags, or 40 metres swimming from flags to flags is really important. We want to nail that stroke. And that's what these girls do in their training day in and day out, is really try and nail that technique, because that's when it shines through on race day, just like tonight.
Selleck will be the gold medalist, Spur with the silver, and Hogan with the bronze. As we head now, this is your girls 16 to 18 years, multi-class 50-metre backstroke final. What an exciting way to finish the meet. Blando Nicholson, we've seen her a lot tonight. She's back out in lane number 2. Has strong swim already tonight.
In lane 8,
Hoy in lane number 4, your fastest qualifier, that 34.42. More in lane number 5, Fraser. Some names we've seen a lot already tonight, and we wait to see those high point scores come through.
In lane 5, representing
Chloe Maxwell back in action too, guys. She just finished the 200 freestyle, it seems like it anyway, so probably
Ella Hoy.
What do you think she got up to in the last 10 or 15 minutes there, Alex? Probably not much, you would say.
Wouldn't have thought so. Hopefully just have a little stretch of the legs, try and get some of that lactic acid out. Yeah, I'd just be walking up and down the pool, maybe doing a few jumps, a few shakes. So this is Chloe Maxwell in lane 0.
Chloe Maxwell.
She looks fresh.
Those are your finalists.
A quick dry off, shake of the arms, laser focused.
50-meter back.
I think you just have to be glad that the 200 was first, not second.
I always found that you could produce a really good 50 after a 200. That little bit of lactic acid sitting in your body almost helped me prepare and not overthink the 50, which I loved.
I think you just built different, Em. I'd be the complete opposite.
Take your marks.
The girls are away in the 16 to 18 years, 50-metre backstroke, and they're off to a flyer. Again, we're looking towards the middle of the pool here. Looks to be Meg Conheedy in the blue cap for Geelong, but right next to her, Ella Hoy from Narrabeen, moving through. Amelia Moore, really putting in a solid last 15 metres here. And it is all about the skills here and where's the touch going to come from. And it is going to be Amelia Moore time-wise. Ella Hoy coming in second there. But we will look to the points as well. And Blando Nicholson out in lane 2 with the 5:17 points. Rebecca Fraser over from WA coming in with a 5:06.
Prime example of that finish there too, wasn't it, guys? One under, one over the middle lanes. One of our girls there was finishing on a bit of a longer stroke, but it was a really strong swim there from Victoria Blando Nicholson to win the point score and national championship. But just goes to show how important those skills are in such a fast race.
And also, I was just reading about her. She only started competitive swimming in 2023. So to see her progress so well through this meet, that 517 point score, it's certainly impressive to see.
It is indeed. Great progression, and maybe someone to watch for the future as well. You can keep dropping times like that when you've only been swimming for a couple of years. That is seriously impressive. As we move to our final couple of events here on day number 1 of the Australian Multi-Class Age Group Championships. It's the boys' turn to rip down the pool, 1 lap of backstroke. A couple of youngies in here, 12 years old, 13 years old.
In lane 9,
good to test yourselves. Probably their first national championships, I would say. A little bit of nerves involved.
In lane 8, representing St. Peter's
So
West.
that could just take you over the edge when you got the nerves, I think. A little bit of butterflies is always good.
Representing Southport, Jad Smith.
Absolutely, and we look to Declan Budd too. I know we're looking at the 12 to 13 years final now, but how quick was Declan this morning? 28.8. So some of these younger boys, especially our S14 fellas, will be looking up towards Declan, also an S14 swimmer, 18 years of age. So let's see how close they can get to his sub 30-second barrier time this morning. He was rapid.
Representing Randwick City, Christian
Yeah, he was
Wilson.
very fast. He just absolutely flew off
In
the
lane
block.
1, representing Oak Flats,
Good to see.
Lachlan
Good for the
Mackay.
younger kids to see things like
And
that
in
as
lane
well.
0, representing Whitsunday,
Trying to see what's
George
possible,
Rock.
set some goals in your mind.
Those are your finalists
Maybe watch
for
some of the
boys,
processes that are happening.
12 to 13 years, multi-class.
But the vibes
50
have seemed to have
meter
picked up here at the Gold Coast Aquatic Centre. We hear some great cheers from the crowd. You've got the music pumping. Everyone's fired up for these 50s.
Take your marks.
The boys 12 to 13 years, multi-class 50-metre backstroke national championship. The final is underway, and it was a great swim this morning from Diesel Thompson. He's got lane 4, but Cohen Austin was our swimmer who topped the points, and it's really tough to pick who's in the lead at the moment. I think it's Diesel Thompson in lane 4, but lane 5 is making it really hard for him as well. Abel Hassan Sadi. As the boys swim under the flags, it's going to be stroke for stroke here. Let's see who can get their hand on the wall first. I think it might be Thompson. And Thompson just 289 points, 33.83. But let's see the point scores come through. Keep an eye out on the outside lanes as well. We do have S8 and S9 swimmers finding their way to the wall. 326 points, though. The fastest so far, Cohen Austin. So he topped the point scores this morning. And it seems like he has again tonight. So we've got Jarrett with 304 points as well. And a lot of the other boys hovering just sub 300 points. And Christensen claiming the bronze with 293 points. But look at that end, 289, 284. That was really tight, both on times and points.
It certainly was. And Austin there doing faster than what he did this morning. So great to see him be able to improve from heat to final and take home that gold medal with that 326 point score. S14 athlete. Great job for those boys. As we look now at the
Ladies and
next
gentlemen, please
final,
welcome to the pool
it will
deck.
be your boys
Swimmers
14
for
to
event
15
eight.
years multi-class,
Boys, 14
50
to
metres
15 years,
backstroke.
multi-class, 50 meter
And
backstroke.
Deacon Chopping coming out again. He has been in every final tonight, I think, and he is loving it.
Yeah, seriously impressive. Look at that, lapping it up, bringing the vibes, which is what you love to see. Really enjoying the environment, enjoying being here,
In lane
soaking
8,
in the
representing
atmosphere.
Red Cliff Leagues, Deacon Shopping.
vibing to the music
lane
as well,
7, representing
just like we are
Campbelltown,
here in the commentary box.
Jordan
You gotta have fun
Hewitt.
with it, don't you? And Eli Kerr was
In lane
really
6,
strong this morning, the
representing
S9.
Ngara, Cyrus Fosper.
He was really
lane
quick, so the
5,
Warrnambool
representing
athlete
Albury,
threw in
Jed
34.51.
In lane 4,
I
representing
think you're right, team. Deacon
Bramble,
Shopping, I love the walk out there. Have a bit of fun with it. 50 metres. You've got to be a little bit relaxed, although we are nervous before these national championships, as Joshua Graham gets announced there in lane 3. And rounding out the field is Fraser McCamley up again tonight in lane 2. And of course, Lachlan Farlow from the Lakes College, our S8 swimmer. He was 42.52 this morning. So let's see who can get their hand on the wall first. Let's see who can do a PB. In our second last final of the evening, the boys 14 to 15 years, 50 metres backstroke.
Take your marks.
And the boys are off. This is your 14 to 15 years multi-class 50 metres backstroke final. Looking very strong out there. Fosberg in 6. Ever so slightly in front just of Tui there in 5. Kerr in 4. We've got to watch out for him in that high point score. That 50 backstroke is about getting everything right, getting that hand on the wall, and looking great out there. Tui in 5 on that lane rope, but holding on strong to that finish as we come down to the wall. That will be a 33.34 with a 302 point score. The highest so far, Fosberg in that 484 point score. As we wait to see those last couple of swimmers come in, That 33.71 from Fosberg there in lane number 6, holding on to that highest point score so far. Deacon Chopping coming into the wall, 244. Kerr with that silver medal so far, that 449. And that bronze medal, Farlow from lane number... No, Graham, sorry, from that lane number 3, taking home that bronze medal, that 341 point score. What a race that was. Fosberg did a great job of that 50 metres backstroke, that 33.71. Takes home that gold medal, 484 on the point score. Kerr there, your S9 athlete, 449 for the silver. And Graham with the bronze with that 341. As we have a look at the last final here tonight, this is your boys 16 to 18 years multi-class 50 metres backstroke. But we have been waiting to see in lane number 4, fastest time this morning, that 28.80. We'll see if he can produce another fast time tonight. Toa right next to him in lane number 5. His training partner, 31.45 this morning. And what a way to finish the meet here today with that 50 backstroke for these boys. A fun, relaxed way to do it. The music's up, the vibes are up. And we've seen some great swimming action so far tonight. Some really high point scores, and I think we're about to see another one, aren't we, Jake?
I think so, Em. And he was the youngest male on the roster last year for the 2025 World Para Championships. So for our para athletes this year, the Commonwealth Games is on offer, but not every event. So the Pan Pacific Championships in California and Pasadena is the one to look out for our multi-class boys as the week progresses into the Opens as well. But Declan, of course, he would be looking up to Benny Hance, and we have Benny Hance, of course, racing later in the meet in the Opens. And I know this is the 50, but Benny's the world record holder in the 100, so it's great to see some of our young S14 boys as well putting on their race suits tonight, ready to dive in for a quick 50 backstroke.
Absolutely. 50 is just a gateway to the 100. Strong sprinter. Benny Hance has really come along over the last few years, hasn't he? He's starting to dominate every swim that he does, so very exciting to see him later in the week. As our final event for the evening, it's almost underway. And we're away cleanly for the boys, 16 to 18 years, 50-metre backstroke. Remember, we're looking to the middle of the pool. Declan Budd with 28.80 this morning, and he has flown out to take the lead here. The lads next to him might be copying a little bit of wash, but it could also bring them forward as well. But his stroke rate is up. He is absolutely flying towards the wall. He had a lot of points this morning. Let's see what he can pull in tonight. And it is a 28.44, quicker than this morning, which is what you love to see, as the rest of the field is coming in nice and tight. And he's pumped. Declan Budd gives us a flex for those watching at home.
And why wouldn't you?
Exactly right. He loves it. That's what you want to see at an age group championships. Bit of emotion. He wanted that time. He went after it. I think his entry time from this morning was a 29, so that's a massive drop. To drop a second. And he is the top point scorer. And it's going to be his training partner, Toa, pulling in the 6.32 points, with the results officially coming up on the board, with Neil pulling in that third place, 480 points.
He was out in lane 9, Dylan Neal, as well, so he's done a great job to collect the bronze medal there. There's a couple of the other boys in there that made it really hard for him too, but that was a great swim from Declan Budd. He's knocked a lot off his time today. Another 0.36 off his morning swim, so fantastic swim there from Declan as he looks to the rest of the meet.
So we had a fantastic first session here. Please join us again tomorrow morning. We'll be on at 9 a.m. Tune in on the 9 Now app. We are live from the Gold Coast Aquatic Centre. This is the Australian MC Age Championships. Thanks all for tuning in. I'm with Alex. and Em and Jake. We'll see you in the morning.
This has been another presentation from Nine's Wide World of Sports.